Well, lots been happening today, starting in the early hours of this morning. The Springboks powering to an impressive 33-7 win over Australia in their opening match of the Rugby Championship in Brisbane. The Boks were ruthless, took a comfortable 21-0 lead at half-time, with the Wallabies only getting on the scoreboard when the visitors were reduced to 13 men. Joining us now to look back at this performance is renowned coach Pine Pienaar. And there he is. Coach, good evening from us on SABC. Thank you for speaking to us tonight.
Tabiso, such a pleasure. Thanks so much for inviting me.
Thanks, Coach. It seemed like a ruthless performance there from the Springboks. Do you feel that they wanted to make a statement, especially with the talk this week that they struggled to win in Brisbane?
Oh, wow. See, I mean, that first half was a powerful performance, especially up front. I actually at a stage felt sorry for the Australians, but no, it was a comprehensive win, Tabiso. Two things that stood out, the way that the Springboks, looked for space with ball in hand, and then, the collective physicality that they showed on the defence. As you just mentioned, the first try they conceded was 5 minutes before the end of the game, and they were reduced to 13 players. So, yeah, so proud of the performance.
Yeah, and you talk about them playing with the ball in hand. Is that the influence of a Tony Brown? Are we starting to see the signs there?
It looks like it. I mean, you can see even from the island games back home and against Portugal. I mean, you can see there's definitely a different shape they're looking at. And the way that they find space, especially on the edges. Today, I mean, if you think that Peter Stedt, the Toy, and Evan Itzebeth, they're playing at 50-meter channels. I think that's tough for a backline defender of the Wallabies, to contain those type of big boys. So it was really, well thought of, the way that they planned. Even at one stage, Cheslin Corby feeding the scrum as a 9 position. So you can see little differences that Tony is bringing in. That's why I'm saying I think it's quite exciting where they're going to, especially ball in hand, attacking wise.
That's an interesting point you make, because we thought maybe with Tony Brown coming in, he just works with the back line. So are you saying he also works with the forward? He also expects these ball skills from the forwards also?
Yeah, I had the privilege of going to attend some of their training sessions when I played here in Pretoria. So again, I think with Rassie being obviously a genius, it's everything is collective at the Springboks. So when it comes to the line-up plays or the play that they play from scrums, with Dion Davids and Don and Sticky in, so I think it's really a collective effort. And the way that I think they want to move the ball, your forwards have to have a certain type of skill set around that. And, it's just not bashing up front, but it's more, making defenders moving around the field, making sure if they are tight and they go around them like they showed this morning, even with a kick pass, which Sasha did. Unfortunately, couldn't find Cheslin at that stage. So, I think really where they're going to, that's quite exciting.
We also saw the maul seem to be moving at a fast speed. Also, we saw the double lineouts also being implemented today. Are those new innovations that we are seeing now, Coach?
I think so. Again, it's just not being the normal. And I think what's going to happen, I think it's going to be difficult for sides to prepare for the Springboks. Obviously, if you start doing the double jump in a lineout, getting a back ball, moving it to the front, putting up a maul and scoring a try there, it's fantastic. So where they're going to, that's exciting. And I can't wait for the second test.
What about the bomb squad, though? We're still there, and they've made a huge impact again this morning. How crucial is that element of the Bok game?
That's currently, that's our heartbeat, Tabiso. What the bomb squad is all about. The way that Rassie selects the guys on the bench. Unfortunately, a guy like Ergis Snyman got injured. Ruan Urkia got injured as well, so there was a few late changes. So maybe, that had a bit of an influence on the way that they used the bomb squad. But, if you have guys like Grant Williams and Andre Pollard coming up from the bench, unfortunately, Marco van Staden, he got a yellow card. To be honest, I felt he was unlucky. But, Kwagga, such an explosive player. So, And then I thought Gerard Steenkamp, Malcolm Marx, and Vincent Koch, wow. I mean, they are just world class, Tabiso. So, I mean, that's a heartbeat of the Springboks, So, I mean, if I'm on the bench of the other side and I have to know that I've got to face the bomb squad, I think I wouldn't go on that.
We also saw young Sasha Feinberg Ngomezulu starting at 10. What's your scorecard on him, Coach Pine?
Yeah, I mean, he actually played so well. I mean, the second test against Ireland, he got quite a early start with Valerie coming off, and he played fullback. Unfortunately, we lost that test, but I mean, he brings something different to the game. His feel for the game, and he's such a young player. But I mean, I can see him growing into that 10 jersey definitely. But I mean, he's so versatile. I think he can play any position in the back line. I thought with a pack of forwards that gave him a good set piece and base to play from, I thought he did really well today.
Yeah, and you touched on one of the yellow cards, though. We saw the Boks losing 3 players at the end. Do you think some of those were justified, even the one with Jesse Krill, because he tried to explain what he was doing there?
Yeah, again, it's always difficult, just putting yourself in a position of the referee. But I mean, at that stage, yeah, we were a bit under pressure with penalties mounting up against us. But I mean, you can say the same for them. At one stage, the penalty count was 14-7, I think. So I think they were fairly lucky not getting a yellow card. Yeah, they did get a yellow card, but with the wing coming off. But yeah, I think the way is still that the way to be played with 13 players on the field. I mean that's a big tap on the shoulder for a guy like Flannery, defensive coach from the Springboks. The way that they hold on. So yeah, I mean it's so exciting where the Boks are currently at, Tabiso.
And I know they don't leave anything to chance. Which areas do you think they would have identified that they'll want to work on next week, even though we consider this performance to be ruthless this morning?
Yeah, I think in the first half, I think they had a few opportunities moving into the Wallabies 22, which they didn't convert. One line break of Willie, where I thought they actually could have finished. So basically using the opportunities they got and they created, tried to convert them a bit better. And I feel the way that they handled the kicking game and the way that they managed actually to go between kicking game and ball in hand, I thought that was fantastic. So it'll be interesting to see from Rassie and them, the way that they select the players the next game. Will you see a 100 Pollard coming back in again, or Sasha keeping the 10 jumper? So I think that's a big thing, because I think it's a different type of profile of players that they have. So again, it depends on what Rassie and the coaching staff see the next day.
And why do you think Australia was so poor today, Coach?
Sorry, to repeat again?
I'm saying, were you surprised at how poor the Wallabies were at home?
Yeah, again, I mean, I actually feel sorry for Joe Schmidt in the sense of, I know there was a you can say they're building. They don't have a lot of test cap players, under the belt, but I think they were just blown away with the physicality of the Springboks. They at one stage it was wave after wave after wave, and they tried to hold on. But I mean, at one stage, you can just see they ran out of numbers on the defense, So, and again, the line-out didn't function. They lost 3 line-outs in the Springboks 22. Well done again to the contesting system of the Springboks, under a coach like Dion Davids.
Yeah.
But yeah, geez, they didn't convert any of the opportunities they got. And again, I mean, wow, the Springbok scrum, it's difficult. I mean, if he fires that type of setup that the Boks have.
Okay, wonderful, Coach. Always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for joining us here on SABC.
Thanks so much, Tabiso. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too, Coach Pine Pienaar there. Looking back at the Springboks' dominant performance against Australia. We didn't even have time to touch on another big result this morning, with Argentina stunning the All Blacks, winning by 38 points to 30 there away in New Zealand.